nailed it.
I'm fine, we'll get better.
Hi guys, it's Taylor here.
It's Fonda here.
If you hear tacking, it's Fonda's boyfriend in the background. Say hi, Adam.
Say hi.
Hey. Today we're going to be talking about the animes, specifically underrated animes.
Or what we think is underrated.
Exactly.
That might still be popular, but we don't really notice.
What is classified as an underrated anime, at least in my books, is stuff that's not the big three. The big three being Bleach, Naruto, One Piece.
I think Fairy Tail is getting up there.
Fairy Tail's getting up there.
Yes. And then there's like, I think that's like the big three in the sense of like they've been running for so long.
That people know what they are. Like if you say like anime, people usually say that. They also say like Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, Full Metal Alchemist is up there too, especially with Brotherhood that got
also
released.
Now Attack on Titan, because the anime was so
yeah.
well done.
Oh yeah, for sure. And people are waiting for season 2.
Yes. So. And now there's like, I think like for shoujo anime it's a lot different because there's so many that you're like, oh, this one's cute, oh, that one's cute.
For sure.
It's never like
consistent. Like Sailor Moon's up there.
Yes.
Sailor Moon, Cardcaptor Sakura, kinda. Yeah.
That's like a nostalgia.
It's a nostalgia. It's celebrating 20 years this year.
Holy moly.
I know. So Fonda and I each wrote down our top 3. 1, 2, 3. Starting with number 3 of anime that we really enjoyed or really liked. Sunburn!
Yeah, 3!
So number 3 for me is Revolutionary Girl Utena, also known as Shoujo Kakume Utena. So it was an anime series that was released in the mid-90s. Only has 1 season, which is 39 episodes. Plus a movie. So pretty much the basic premise is that there's this tomboyish girl called Utena who met this prince when she was younger, and so she's like, oh, I want to be a prince now. I'm heavily influenced by this guy. And so she meets this girl that she discovers is a rose bride. So she goes through like these duels and has to like fight the student council. And apparently whoever wins the tournament gets this power that can revolutionize the world.
Oh.
So it's probably one of my favorites, like for older stuff. Not many people know it, and if they do, it's more like older people.
Is it still ongoing?
No, it finished. However, the person that directed Utena also did Mawaru Penguin Drum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I've heard of that one before. I haven't watched it.
Yeah, so they do a lot of like kind of interesting topics. Also, the movie is a retelling of the original series, but kind of differently.
Oh, okay.
So it has this weird like car transformation scene. Which when I was watching the movie, I was like, what the hell is this? So, but yeah, it's probably one of my favorite shoujo type stuff. Also Yuri, if you're into the girl-on-girl action.
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a boyfriend and have never dated anyone besides a man, but I appreciate it.
The Yuris, man. Damn Yuris.
My number 3, which is newer, I think it's up to episode 6, and I haven't started watching it past episode 2, but I read the manga, is Shokugeki no Soma.
Shokugeki no Soma!
Please keep doing that.
Okay.
It is a cooking manga, and I love it so much. But it's really funny. It does have a plot. It's not just like cooking for the sake of cooking. The main guy, which is Soma.
Yep.
His dad.
Hence the name of the show. Anyways,
his dad kicks him out of their like family-run business.
Okay.
Which is like a special of the day shop.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah.
So is it kind of like Bob's Burgers in the sense that there's like a special burger, but like specialty foods?
Kind of like you only see him actually be in the shop. Like
once.
For the first, I'm gonna say 10 chapters, and then his dad enrolls him into a cooking school.
Okay.
And it's like top of the line cooking school, and he's like, where are you, Dad? He's like, oh, I'm in France, you know, cooking at a top of the line restaurant. And he's like, what? Like he doesn't know his dad used to go to the same school he put him in.
Oh.
And he doesn't know that his dad was like top student.
Okay. So I've never actually heard of this show. So for the show, is there kind of like Iron Chef type challenges where there's like yes, blender action?
It's sort of, but like they have challenges, but it's called shokugekis.
Okay.
Which is like basically someone's like, I challenge you to a shokugeki, and then you fight doing a cooking challenge and someone
It's not a food. Oh, I guess it would be a food fight.
Oh, that was bad. Basically, if you lose, you can like put up the challenge like, oh, like if I win and if you lose, you have to leave the school or you have to give me this. Right? It's kind of like a gambling bet of some kind.
Okay.
And so it's just really funny because like Soma's always like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and then all of like every time someone eats really good food, it's very etchy because it'll show them being like, oh, and then like all of a sudden their clothes are ripped off, and it's like oh
flowers and
or something weird. I like it because I also really like food, and you can tell the author slash artist did a lot of research on the things because they bring in French food, they bring in food from India, like a lot of things, and I'm like, I didn't know about that. That's really neat. So yeah, I like it because of that, but I also think it's funny, and so that helps.
Niban! My second favorite, number 2, my second favorite series, Love Live, or Love Live! Anyways, so the premise of the story is that there's this girl named Honoka that goes to the school, and the school's about to be shut down.
Okay.
So she wants to start this idol group in order to promote people to come to the school. And so eventually Muse is formed. And then it's the stories of Muse and how they go through Love Live, which is a competition where different idols from different schools compete.
Oh, okay.
So there's 9 girls total. And the interesting thing is that it originally started off as this project where people would submit information, like the name of the group was all fan voted, who the center idol would be for a certain song, just lots of interesting things like that. It's not overly known in North America. However, there is a iPad Android game.
Yeah, I've played it.
Called Love Live School Idol Festival. It's really addicting. So you play the songs and you tap on the screen. The reason why I really like it is because it's just one of those like really heartfelt, like,
is it kind of like K-On in the sense of like girls?
Kinda with the girls and kind of slice of lifey. So, and then there's, you know, like issues, and it's just really good. 2 seasons. There's another one that's going to be airing with a bunch of like brand spanking new girls called Love Live Sunshine, which is again going to be all like fan submitted stuff. So like the name of the group, what the girls are going to be doing, as well as a movie's coming out.
It's always good when an anime gets a movie.
So, and it's probably one of my favorites lately, so especially for newer stuff.
My number 2 would be Nisekoi, which
Nisekoi!
which also started out as a manga as well. Nisekoi. So the manga is going on the anime is going on season 2. I've only started watching season 1 because I didn't know it came out. Like I knew they were getting one, but I didn't know it came out because it's definitely underrated because on my dash and from the people I follow anyways, on like Tumblr and checking things out on Reddit and stuff, not a lot of people talk about it.
Yep.
So I didn't know until one day it came on my dash and I was like, what? So then I started watching it. But it's about this boy who is a harem. It's a harem. It's a harem anyway.
But
it starts out with this boy who has a locket, and he's like, when he was younger, he made a promise to a girl that they would get married, and she would have the key, and he would have the locket, and whichever key opens the locket is the girl he's destined to marry. There are 4 girls with a key. And they all know him, and they realize that through their parents, like eventually, in the story-wise, eventually they're like, oh, we somehow all hung out as kids. And they realize this locket was based off of a book.
Okay.
And there's 3 princesses that help the prince meet his like actual princess. So that's why there's 4, but you don't know who's who.
Also, the funny thing is that he needs to pretend to be in a relationship with this other girl because he's part of the Yakuza and she's part of the gang, of the mob, so
from the States.
And then so they have to pretend to be in a relationship in order to stop the war. So it's really funny.
I really like it. It's definitely not ecchi, and they don't do a lot of fan service, which I like. personally,
Mhm.
and it's very cutesy and it's very friendship based and like hits home, and I really like it.
Okay, fun.
It's really good. Okay, I think you should watch it.
Watch it. You can watch it on Crunchyroll.
Yes, you can, or read the manga if you.
Fonda likes manga more than anime.
I do. I'm not gonna lie.
Daiichiban!
1.
Number 1 for me. This is a mouthful. So,
Okay.
the series name is called Anohana, the flower we saw that day, in English. In Japanese, it is Anohimita hana no namae o boku tachi wa mada shiranai.
This is such a long
Title. Loosely translated, it is the flower we saw that day. We didn't know the name.
Oh, okay.
So, oh man, I watched this entire series in one day. It's only 11 episodes, there's a movie as well.
Okay.
So anyways, it's about these 6 childhood friends that drift apart because one of the girls, Menma, she gets in an accident and dies.
Oh.
So, and then years later, the leader of the group, Jinta, Menma comes to him, like all grown up looking and stuff like that as a ghost, and she's like, I made a wish, but I don't remember what that wish is, but if you help me find it, I imagine I'll, like, you know, pass on kind of thing. And so, the series, you go through and, like, you know, you reunite with these friends and, like, arguments happen, and it's just, oh man, so many feels. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. I
You
thought,
talked about it a lot. I remember when you were watching it.
oh yeah, for sure. Like, it's just really interesting how they view death in Japan, as well as, like, you know, the animation's gorgeous. Like, so beautiful. And it's just one of those series that, like, I'll probably go back and watch again just because of how well it was done and how much of an impact it had on me as a series. So,
Oh, I like when any kind of series, be it anime, manga, or movie, TV show, whatever, I like it when they make you feel like, I would watch this again.
Fonda's number 1.
My number 1, which I've also watched a couple times. I remember hearing about it when I was in grade like 7 because I got it in like, do you remember like those anime manga magazines we bought at one time? It came with a free DVD.
Oh man!
And it was for Full Metal Panic. There's different series for Full Metal Panic, but I purely just like Full Metal Panic. And it came with the first episode. Of course, it was English dub, but I didn't care. I didn't know any better.
You're like, free DVD!
I was like, I'm gonna watch this. And then I remember when I finally got, in grade 9, when I finally got internet.
Oh man, the
And
internet.
I know, it's so helpful. I started watching it.
So, what's the series then?
Okay, so it's also based off a manga.
Fair enough.
Except for Full Metal Panic Fumofu. Yeah. I believe that one's not so much based off on the manga.
It's like an offshoot or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. It's the same premise, but it's kind of like more so at school based because Full Metal Panic is about this one girl named Chidori who doesn't know she's special. She's sort of like a miracle child in the sense that in the era that they are in Japan, technology has this weird thing where sort of like Espers, I'm gonna say.
Okay.
In the sense that like they don't have knowledge of the human race, but for some reason they know all these things about technology and no one knows why.
Okay.
So they're special in that way.
Okay.
And it has basically kind of like Gundams, sort of like fighting machines, like like not actual Gundams, but you know what I mean.
The Gundam
type fighting machines that people get into for suits, and
So.
this one girl finds herself not realizing she has this power, and this guy comes in named Sosuke.
Okay.
And he's only like he works in like a military base, and he's never gone to school before, and he doesn't know how to interact with regular people.
Oh, okay.
So it's really funny because he'll do something, and then she like hits him with a newspaper really hard.
Oh man.
And it's really funny, but it has a good plot line.
Yep.
And I just remember really liking it because it was like the decisions that they had to make were really hard.
Yeah, so
For some things, I was
so
like,
you really connected as like a person to
yeah,
the characters.
It
Yeah.
was also just like really good, and I wanted to know more. It's good. It's just really good. So I would suggest either reading it or watching.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, have a great day.
Like,
Subscribe.
comment.
Woo! You know the basics. We'll get used to something. You'll see.
We don't know what to do.
Not yet, but we'll get there.
Bye.
Every Monday.